Hi everyone and welcome to my fall TBR. If you don't know what a TBR is, it's my fall to be read, books I want to read, books I want to get to during this fall season. My name is Lindsay and I post all about book content, Barnes & Noble trips, book hauls, book vlogs, me reading, and all my favorite books. So if you are interested in that, please subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate all of it. So even though I'm in like my fall sweater, it is literally 90 degrees where I'm at, and I'm just so excited for those like cool fall weather, like kind of warm throughout the day, but cold throughout the night and the morning. Like that's like the best time for fall, and just like you can enjoy the outside, but then also have that crispiness at the end of the day. Like that is just the best time to me. But we're suffering in 90-degree heat right now, and I'm wearing a sweater. But it's gonna be okay. I did it for the vibes. I might be sweating a little bit throughout this, but let's get into it. So for me, fall time reading is a lot of different things. I really love cozy, cute romances in the fall. I love spooky books in the fall, and I really, really love fantasy books in the fall. All of those just fit the vibe of the season and just are like my favorite kinds of books to read. And so I'm so excited to read this fall. In this TBR, I have all those things. I have romance, I have thrillers, I have fantasy books. I'm gonna go through all of my physical TBR books and then my like digital TBR books that I have on my Kindle, because they're all just like the fall vibe. So if you need those like fall fun books, definitely keep watching because we can read these together and I'm so excited. So the first book that I have to show you is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I've already started this book. I'm not very far in. I literally just started it like the other night, and I haven't had that much time to read, so that's why we have barely not got anywhere in this book. But this book quite literally screams like the perfect fall vibes. I am obsessed with this cover, and this book just looks like exactly something that I would give 5 stars. Everything about this is beautiful and perfect to me, and I cannot wait to get to it. Basically, it is about this woman, and she is going through a divorce. Her mom just died, and she's taking over her mom's bed and breakfast in this really small town in Vermont. And then the mailman character, he is a single dad that lives in this small little town in Vermont and has been kind of helping the bed and breakfast ever since her mom passed away. And she has this really adorable dog named Rocket. They're such a cute little combo. I already can tell that I'm gonna be obsessed with this book, and I'm only, I think, like 2 or 3 chapters in. Yeah, chapter 3 is what I'm on. It is set in 1997 fall, and you just have all the good vibes, like the Gilmore Girls vibes, and it is so good. Like, even just like the atmosphere that the author is writing in, I can already tell she's bringing in all the fall vibes. Like, she's mentioning everything, to pumpkins, to the pumpkin spice lattes, to scarecrows, like all the fun fall things that you just love about fall season are in this book. And I'm only in chapter 3, so I just can't wait for all the other things that it's gonna pop up. So yeah, this is definitely a cozy fall romance that you need to add to your list. It literally just came out like this past week, so pick her up because it's already so good. The next cozy fall book that I have on my physical TBR is Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. And it's got these really cute sprayed edges. Now, I got this book for $5. I've already looked on Goodreads, and it doesn't have great reviews. But I did buy it. It does have the fall vibes. So I want to try to read it and see if I can like it. Even if I only like it as like a 3-star book, like that's still like a pretty good book to me and something that I'm going to enjoy. I think it's about So essentially it's about this girl, and she works in a coffee shop that's run by her mom, and the mailman character works at a coffee shop that just opened up across the street that's like this big coffee chain. And I think it's gonna be like an enemies to lovers type situation, which I love an enemies to lovers. I don't know if it's gonna be the most amazingly written book. Like literally the pages, I feel like there's hardly any words on the page. Like this looks like similar to a children's book, a children's chapter book, like if you're like upper elementary school age, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like that, this is just for the vibes. Like I could definitely see myself reading this in a cute little coffee shop on a fall crisp day, just for something to have, something in between like big deep fantasy books. Like this just looks so cute to me. So definitely going to try to get to this fall. Now we have some thrillers on the physical TBR. One thing about me is I really don't read that many thrillers throughout the year. Like, I am definitely a romance and fantasy romance type girl. Like, I just don't really ever see myself reading thrillers that often. But I definitely try to get into them in the fall season, especially like early October or like just throughout October in general, just because it's spooky season. So I do have two currently on my physical TBR that I need to get to this fall because my sister-in-law gave me one of them and then my brother bought me the other one. And so I definitely want to read it just because of them, but also because I do want to read them. So the first book that I have is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I've read one other Lisa Jewell book. It's called Then She Was Gone, I think. It was about a girl that got kidnapped, and it was kind of like the journey of the mom trying to figure out what happened to her. And I really, really liked it. This, I genuinely have no idea what it's about. Celebrating her 45th birthday at the hot new local pub, popular podcaster Alex Summer crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie's been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep going on the project. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie is hiding some very dark secrets. Before she knows that Josie has indulged her way into Alex's life and into her home. But as quickly as she arrived, Josie Fair disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives in grave danger. Interesting. So it's about a true crime podcaster and how she kind of like gets in the middle of her own true crime type story. I think this is going to be really, really good. It sounds like a very interesting concept. Ashley Flowers, the true crime queen of podcasts, recommended this book. She said, "None of this is true, is dark and unsettling in all the right ways." Well, if Ashley Flowers was kind of into it, I think I'm going to get into it because I love Ashley Flowers. She is on Crime Junkie. She's like the main person on Crime Junkie. And I actually saw Crime Junkie in person and they were incredible. So, and I really like Lisa Jewell. Like the one book that I read by her, I really, really liked it. So I think this is going to be good. My sister-in-law said that she could not put it down. Like she usually reads books, like it takes her a little bit longer to read books just because of her busy life. She was like, I could not put this down. She said she read it in just a few days. So I think I'm really going to like it. I think I'm going to be very spooked, which is my favorite thing. And what I like about Lisa Jewell too is that I feel like I get emotionally invested. Like sometimes I find that thrillers are just kind of surface level and it's all about like the killing. And I want that emotional connection to the characters so I actually feel bad about the death or deaths that are in the book. So yeah, adding this to the fall TBR. And then the other thriller that I have is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I believe this is the same author of The Perfect Marriage, which I have not read, but I've seen so many things about it. I know that it's a Kindle Unlimited book. I wonder if this is on Kindle Unlimited too, but anyways, I've seen just so many amazing things about this author and all the books that she writes. So this is definitely going to be a spooky little book to add to the fall TBR. I know that this is about a girl that goes to an Airbnb, which is a little creepy because I've spent some time in some Airbnbs, and so this might freak me out to go into Airbnbs again. Hopefully not. In the middle of Wyoming, it looks really nice. Oh, and then the owner is a handsome man, and he's into her. There's also a missing woman there. She falls for him though. But as the departure date comes, things are getting worse. So I think this is going to be like a creepy stalker romance, except for she's not going to be into the creepy stalker romance stuff like some of our other dark romance girlies love to read, which you can love what you read. I've read a few creepy stalker dark romances and I enjoyed them, but I think this is going to be more realistic to the creepy stalker dark romances. I think this will be good. I think I will actually really, really like this. I think this will be unput downable. Unput downable. Is that a word? I'm making it a word. It looks really good though. And the creepy house on the front. It's kind of almost giving like summertime, but those trees look kind of fallish. So I think this will be a good fall read. Miss Colleen Hoover also recommended it. I don't love Colleen Hoover anymore, but I used to, and that does not mean that she's a bad author. It's just like her books aren't what I'm interested into anymore. She has wrote books that I have really, really liked. So I think this is gonna be a good one for the fall. Okay, so the last two books on my physical TBR are fantasy books, and they're in the same duology, and it's the Six of Crows duology. I have tried to read this duology before, and I couldn't get into it. I've read Shadow and Bone. I've read that trilogy. It's been a while. I don't really remember it too much. And I liked it. I thought it was okay, but I've heard, obviously, all over Book Talk that these are an amazing two books. And that this one's even better. Like, the second one's even better than the first. So I want to get to it. I think that these are the perfect fall time read. Like, just look at the vibes that they bring. I know that it's about, like, a heist, and it's in the same world that Shadow and Bone was in. And Kaz, he is like an outcast. I genuinely couldn't tell you what this book was about. And I remember the Grisha verse. I don't remember like what their powers are or like what it's even about. Let's get on Goodreads. Let's see what this is even freaking about, because I don't want you to be like, oh, she didn't even tell us what the book was about. Well, guess what? I don't know either. So literally the description also gives me nothing. It's about a heist. They're gonna win money, make them rich beyond their wildest dreams, and they're all kind of working together. I know that it's giving like found family, which I love a found family book. I don't know. I literally don't know what to tell you about this book. Like, I have nothing, but I think I'm going to like it. I think what my problem was is I tried to read it on my Kindle at first, and I just couldn't get into it. I think now that I have the physical copy in my hands and I can actually like hold it open, read it, I think I can really get into it. So, and it's YA, like how hard can it be to understand? No offense if you're a teenager or if you always read YA books, but they're not, usually they're a little bit easier to understand in the fantasy aspect than adult fantasy books, in my opinion. So, we'll read her, and we'll read her. I'm really excited. I want to love them, and I want to get into them because so many people love them. And one of my favorite book talkers, her name is Morgan Ruffner. She just was posting about this, and it made me want to read them so badly because she loved them so much. And we have similar book tastes, so I think that these will be perfect for the fall because they just give off the fall vibes. Have I said that enough? Are you sick of me saying the fall vibes? I'm sick of myself saying it, but it's probably not going to stop. Okay, now let's get into the digital TBR. These are the books that I have like on my Kindle or on Kindle Unlimited that I want to read this fall as well. So the first book that I have on my digital TBR on my Kindle is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I bought this book when it came out on my Kindle because it was on sale for like $1, and I have not read it yet. I've heard very mixed reviews about The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and you know, I probably won't rate it that high just because of the reviews that I have seen, but I think that I really, really am going to love the book, or just like the world in general, because there's so many books after it that they keep coming in. I feel like it's a crime that I haven't read any of them yet, and they all just like give off a seasonal vibe. And obviously the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is perfect for fall, and I love a pumpkin spice latte. Like, I'm a pumpkin girl. I love a pumpkin cream chai. I love the pecan drink. Like, I love a coffee. Obviously, I'm reading all these pumpkin spice books. But essentially what Pumpkin Spice Cafe is about, I think it's similar to this book. Like, I think Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice and the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, I think that they're going to be very, very similar to each other. And I'm probably going to get them confused. But, like, it's the fall time. Like, it's the time to read these books. So, like, I have to read them now. So let me look up what the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is all about so that way I don't confuse you. So it's about a girl who takes over the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. She leaves her dull desk job in this very cute town called Dream Harbor. And then there's a grumpy man there named Logan, and he is a local farmer. He does not want to be a part of any of the Dream Harbor drama, but he's drawn to the new girl in town running the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which sounds so cute and fun. And then I want to read all the other books afterwards, but like maybe not this fall time, like as the seasons come on, like their season that they're in. So we have Pumpkin Spice Cafe, the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, the Christmas Tree Farm, the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, the Gingerbread Bakery, and the Daisy Chain Flower Shop. I don't think the Daisy Chain Flower Shop is even out yet. No, it comes out in May, like next May in 2026. So we have to read all those books for each of their season. I did see by one person that the Cinnamon Buns Bookstore, it looks like a fall vibes book, but it's mostly set in the summertime. That makes it like a good late summer to fall transition book. Like could be read right now. Like maybe I should read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and then read the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore directly after it, since it's September time and fall actually hasn't officially started. Like in my mind, September is fall, but I don't think fall. What is the actual first day of fall? Let's determine that. September 22nd is the actual first day of fall, and it is September 12th. So we have like 10 days until the actual first day of fall. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next book in the TBR. Okay, so the next few books that I have on my digital TBR are both fantasy books. I love a fantasy. It's my favorite type of book to read. It takes me a lot to get into a fantasy and like really, really love it, even though it is my favorite genre. So the first book that I have is Phantasma. I have been wanting to read this book for a while just because I've seen so many good things. I don't know if this is necessarily like my type of fantasy book, but I really want to try it. And they're like interconnected standalone fantasies, I believe. So that makes it kind of fun. Like usually most of the fantasy books that I read either have like a sequel or a really, really long series after it, and you have to like commit or you have to like wait. So I think this would be a really good book for me to just read and kind of do like a one and done, and then maybe come back and read the rest later, like how all interconnected standalones are. I don't know why I just explained that to you. I'm sure you know that that is very true. But this just gives off creepy vibes. And I've heard that it's similar to Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I really, really enjoyed that trilogy. So I think this is like the adult version kind of that, just like even a little bit creepier and a little bit spicier and maybe a little bit more fun. I don't know. I honestly think I would like Phantasma more than I liked Caraval, just because Caraval seemed a little young for me. I read it, I think, a year or two ago at this point, and I'm 26 now. Like, I feel like even 24, 25, I felt a little old for the book. Not that there's anything wrong with reading YA as an adult, and I'm going to continue to keep reading YA in my 30s and 40s. Like, YA has some great books. Like, you don't need to have spice and everything or adult content and everything to enjoy it. Like, I'm, an adult that's still watching The Summer I Turned Pretty because I love that. Anyways, Phantasma. It's about sisters. One of the sisters disappeared, and Ophelia must enter Phantasma, a deadly contest inside a haunted mansion. Okay, definitely gonna have to read this book in October to get those fall haunted vibes. Phantasma is a maze of twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms of demons and temptations. Ophelia will face 9 challenges, each more dangerous than the last. There can be only one winner, and the other contestants will stop at nothing to eliminate their rivals. Every day the house creates new monsters, but just as Ophelia's fears threaten to overwhelm her, a mysterious stranger offers her a bargain. Charming, arrogant, and infuriatingly attractive, his name's Blackwell. Blackwell claims he can guide her through the lethal trials ahead. All he asks in return is 10 years of her life. Ugh. Blackwell doesn't seem dangerous, but appearances can be deceptive. Worse still, she feels a dark and irresistible attraction, drawing them closer and closer. Her life is on the line, but in Phantasma, the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart. Ooh. That sounds really good. Like, I think I'm gonna, push it higher up on the TBR. Like, that sounds real good. Honestly, I'm gonna have to read that soon. Like, that sounds really, really good. I think that I'm going to love it. And then the second book in the series is Enchantra. Ooh, it has even higher reviews on Goodreads. And I'm sure that's probably about the sister. And then there's going to be a third book, and it doesn't have the release date yet. Ugh, I'm feeling like that sounds like something I want to read right now. After obviously I finish this cutie patootie book. Okay. Now I'm feeling giddy. I'm feeling like I want to read that. Okay, now that we've got that clear. So that was Phantasma. And then the last book on my TBR, or books on my TBR for this fall, are Quicksilver and then Brimstone. So Quicksilver is the first book, obviously a very, very popular book. I haven't read it yet just because there's only one book out, but Brimstone comes out early November, I believe. Let me tell you the date, because that sounds really exciting because I know how many people love Quicksilver and I want to get on the Quicksilver train, and I think I'm really gonna like it. Brimstone comes out November 18th, so like kind of a little bit later this fall. So maybe I'll wait to read Quicksilver like after October, so that way I'm ready for November 18th to read Brimstone. But what's gonna suck though is that I'm gonna read the first two books, fall in love with the series, and then I'm gonna have to wait for whenever the third book comes out. This is probably like the worst part about being a reader who likes books in series. Like you have to keep waiting and waiting and waiting for the next book. Like freaking ACOTAR, like the next book in that, like Sarah J Maas has kind of been, you know, hinting at things like that, or like Fourth Wing, like I can't wait for the fourth book to come out in Fourth Wing. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about Quicksilver. I also don't think I really know too much about what Quicksilver is about, just that it's a fantasy romance and it's kind of spicy and people are obsessed with it. So let's look it up. The original cover really kind of drew me away from Quicksilver at first when it first came out. I was like, what the hell is that? But you know, since I've seen it everywhere now, I feel like I like it more. But I did see the like Barnes & Noble edition at Barnes & Noble when I went last, and it was beautiful, and it made me want to read it even more. So that's why I added it to the TBR, and obviously the second book is coming out. I don't really know too much about Quicksilver, but I just looked it up on Goodreads, and basically it's about this girl who may have magic like deep within her, and she knows that she has it, but she doesn't know how to maybe to unlock it or something. And she's living in this fae world. She has to go through all these challenges, and she binds herself to the male main character, and he's like a fae warrior, and they have to go through all these things together. I don't know. It sounds really, really freaking good. Oh my gosh. I think I have a really good fall TBR. Like, I feel like all these books are gonna be literally incredible, besides maybe this one. Like, this one may not be that great, but I bought it. Like, I have to read it. Everything seems really, really good though, and definitely at the top of my list is the one that I'm reading, Phantasma, Quicksilver, and then thrillers as well, because I definitely need to read some more thrillers. But yeah, I think that's like where I'm gonna end this TBR. It's kind of ambitious in my opinion, just with how kind of slow my reading has gotten this summer, but we did just move, and I'm finally getting back into my reading and like talking to you guys and like talking in this camera, and like it like makes me excited to read again. So you guys are helping me more than I'm helping you with all the book recs. At least I hope I'm helping you with book recs, because that's just like what I want to do, is send you book recs and have you read so many good books, and we can talk about them in the comments. So if you've read any of these books and you've made it this far in the video, please tell me if you liked them, what you didn't like about them, and your fall TBR. I would love to know what books you want to read this fall, because maybe I'll add them to mine as well. But yeah, that's all that I have for today. Please like, comment, subscribe. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing fall season and fall reading season. Okay, bye.